Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Sharice and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy. So nice to see you guys today and to be here with you guys today. All right, so, today is my brother's birthday. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I just realized that I haven't been paying attention to my phone this morning. I'm sure my siblings have already said happy birthday. So happy birthday, Benjamin.
Happy birthday, Benjamin.
Text that over in a little while. And so, hey, everybody. So happy Tuesday. I feel a little frazzled. My hand is hurting a little bit, so it just has me frazzled. Like I can't feel like I'm not in my vibe. But
right.
On topic today. So my name is Natalie Elliott. And this is the fabulous Sharice B. And this is the Together podcast, where we come together to help you get it together. Like that's the whole thing. We come together to help you get it together. And so now, today, we're going to talk about the imposter syndrome. And specifically why the imposter syndrome is louder for women entrepreneurs. And I have noticed like new level, the people like to say new level, new devils. But I really noticed it's new level, same devils. And so the thing that was whispering to you that you can't do it, that you're not worthy, that you don't know what you're talking about, as you go up and up and up, as you start making more money, sometimes will only get louder. And so that's what I want us to really talk about today. So Sharice, first of all, how you doing? What's going on? Thank you for joining us. I could tell you in a car. And you always make time for us. So thank you so much. You were so fabulously consistent at showing up, which I know is one of your things, to show up. And you really embody showing up. And so you make it work. So thank you for that. And then how you doing?
Doing good. Excited. Getting ready for this upcoming event on this Sunday, Iconic Kiss, and then excited about our event coming up, branding with intent. So super excited to get this one done and get popping on branding with intent.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm so excited. So many things are coming up about branding. So many things that I'm restudying about branding to make sure that I have everything I need to give everybody everything that they need for this branding with intent. So I'm so excited. So excited. Okay, but today we're talking about this imposter syndrome and how it actually can get louder. It really can. It really can. All right.
Yeah.
So first thing we're going to talk about is what we're going to call the visibility paradox, right?
Okay.
I want to be visible. Then I'm scared to be seen. I want to speak, then I'm scared to be heard. You know, the more successful you can become, sometimes the scarier it can get.
Yeah.
You can feel the pressure. And so it's so funny how that works. It's almost like we got two minds, you know? Or some people might want to say the adult mind and the little kid mind. So the adult mind, we got to grow. We need to do all of the things. And the little kid is like, oh my gosh, but I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get scared. I don't want to get talked about. I don't want to get found out that I actually don't know what I'm talking about. What if I don't know what I'm talking about? And so what would you say to help women through the visibility paradox of wanting to be seen and then not wanting to be seen? Like, it feels so crazy, you know, especially when you've been working really hard behind the scenes to be visible, and then you're like, oh my God, people are looking at me.
Yeah. I've had some really deep recent conversations about that, but I think number one, I would say accept the roller coaster. You know, like it is what it is. Everything in life is up and down, right? And you know, you're going to have to deal with the ups and downs and the ebbs and the flows. So, you know, be fluid and be ready, you know, be as ready as you can be when it comes to showing up, because what happens, especially with women, I've noticed a huge difference in men and women is, you know, the men are logical and they are black and white and they get things done. And this is why it's getting done. And this is how it's getting done. You know, that's it. Well, women, we're more emotional, right? And okay, well, how do I look and how do I feel and what are people going to say and what are people
Mm-hmm.
going to think and what if this and what if that? And those are the things that block us from showing up in our fullest ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think that what I am noticing is that after so many of these experiences, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us are actually realizing, like, oh, I just scared myself. It wasn't even that. It was, nobody's thinking about me like that,
Right.
but that's only because of our experiences, right?
Yeah.
And once you go through that thing, walk through the fire, you realize, like, oh man, it just really wasn't that bad. And then
Mm-hmm.
from there, we're learning. I think that I want to give us a lot of credit for showing up for ourselves. I think that we are showing up in our capacity for where it
Mm-hmm.
is. But yes, we are still dealing with a lot of, the internal issues of the programming that we've been through. We talk about that a lot. That programming will block you, those limited beliefs and those thought processes that kind of, like you said, playing over here in the background. Go. No, you better not. Go. They looking at
Right.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a big deal. It's there. It's real. So you got to
Right.
face it.
So I want to give you guys some practical things to do to face it. Okay.
Mhm.
One of my favorite lines that I got it off of YouTube. I think I got it from Hey House. What's Hey House chick's name? Um
Louise Hay?
yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
I think I
Yeah.
got it from Louise. If I'm mistaken, y'all feel free to DM me and tell me who it actually is. But it's a simple line. I accept the mantle of leadership in my community.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
like I accept it,
I
kind of
accept
the good,
it.
the bad, the
Yeah.
ugly. And something about that word acceptance allows me to
Yeah.
calm down. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what it is. I
Yeah.
accept this role.
Yeah.
This is, who I'm called to be. So I
Yeah.
accept it. I just step into it. So having yourself a simple mantra, a line or something that's
Mhm.
very grounding. I want you to identify what that is for you and then say it often. Say it
Yeah.
often. You may
Yeah.
just have to sit with it. Another
Yeah.
thing you can do is do some journaling every morning. And it might
Mhm.
start with, I am scared to be seen.
Yeah. Mhm.
I am scared that somebody's going to talk about me. I
Mhm.
am scared, and just list everything that you're scared,
Mhm.
and then give it to God, your higher power, the universe, whoever you believe. You know, ask for
Mhm.
a hedge of protection around you, like
Yeah.
to do those things. And
Yeah.
so that's so practically saying something, sitting down and journaling every day, so you just kind of get it out your system, like we name it. There's
Mhm.
power
Mhm.
to naming a pain point for us.
Yeah.
So name
Mhm.
it so you can kind of process it and get it out the way.
Mhm.
And then I, I'm gonna say do some exercising around that, whatever that
Mhm.
looks like for you, some stretching or something, just so of course
Mhm.
you're releasing that out of your body and making sure, and then just sitting with it and knowing
Yeah. Mhm.
this is part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
It
part of
is.
me growing. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with me because I'm scared. This is part of it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who it is, but one of my coaches said every time they went out on stage to speak, they were scared every single
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so just accepting that as
Mhm.
part of it, like
Yeah.
stop trying to get yourself to feel a different way. Accept the feelings and work through them and
Yeah.
then move on. And know that
Yeah.
those feelings may not ever go away, ever go
Yeah.
away. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it was this fabulous TV show called The West Wing, and the president on the West Wing needed a
Mhm.
therapist, and the therapist told him like, "You ain't got nowhere else to go. Like it's time for you to deal with the demons. You cannot
Yeah.
win another race to prove how good you are.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
are here now. You got to deal with it. You at the end." And so
Yeah.
I love that because it's just like you can't outrun your demons. Like you
Yeah.
cannot succeed through them. You will get to a level where you will have to deal with them and
Yeah.
sit
Yeah.
down and reckon with them and then do the damn thing anyway. Like do
Yeah.
anyway. So, okay. All right. What else is
Good.
coming for you, Sharice?
Yeah. Well, so what that is that acceptance is everything. So once you accept that, okay, this is what it is, and then I have to create
Mm-hmm.
safe,
Mm-hmm.
a safe
Mm-hmm.
space. So if you have the ability to accept what's going on, right, to
Mm-hmm.
bring yourself out of, um, just the
Yeah.
trauma state, or the just being nervous and the anxiety, if you have the ability to do that, right, if
Yeah.
you can recognize it, and if you can
Mm-hmm.
accept it, that it's here, okay, so it's here, this is something that happens with me, and this is how it happens,
Yeah.
okay, then
Yeah.
you have the ability to create a safe space for yourself.
Mm.
Right. And I think that is where a lot of people are missing the mark, because they don't think they have the ability to
Mm.
do it from within.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
your answers are from within. We hear that, it sounds cliche, but that is our number one superpower, is that your
Mm-hmm.
gifts are within you, and you can go
Mm-hmm.
within first,
Mm-hmm.
because we are created in the image of God. Right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so why not be God-like? So with
That's.
that being said, it's so simple. Like you said, have a mantra. My mantra is, I am safe. I am safe. And I tap. I'm a tapper. I am safe.
Ooh.
I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am
All
safe.
right.
Just, even if you're not tapping, if you don't understand that, put your hand over your heart, put your hand over your stomach, put your hand over your shoulders, wherever you need to do. If it's over your face, I am safe. I am safe. And you would be so surprised at what the deep breaths and
Yeah.
just the mantra of I am safe and I
Yeah.
accept this
Yeah.
mantle. I accept
Yes.
and I
Oh.
am safe. So it's really, it's extremely powerful. I've seen a man go into a really anxious state, very high anxiety state, and I've seen him sit there and just repeat, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. It was one of the most powerful things I had ever seen, because especially
Mm.
men, that it makes them feel soft. They don't
Right.
realize, men don't cry, men don't meditate, men, and they do. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the men that we know, let me speak for myself. A lot of the men that I know, they don't believe in the meditating and the therapy and all the things that
Mm-hmm.
are needed, for
Mm-hmm.
us to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, create a safe space for yourself, whether it's a deep breathing, it could be a walk,
Yeah.
it could, whatever it is, but go within, right there in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
with self, and create a safe space for yourself.
Yes. All right. We're gonna drop down into our next point. The next
Mhm.
point is your growth when you don't have internal safety, which is really
Mhm.
what Sharice just got finished saying. So we're gonna go deeper on that. So
Yeah.
the business is growing, the revenue was growing. Your identity hasn't caught up with the
Mhm.
growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Y'all
Ooh,
got
that thing
the,
right there.
oh,
Ooh.
right? The inside has to catch up with the outside. Many
Yeah.
people will say, but I've seen people's outside grow and then they have to sabotage it because it doesn't match the inside.
Mhm.
And so y'all
Mhm.
have to do that work on seeing yourself at the new identity level. And so
Yes.
identifying what that is. So whether
Yeah.
it is like growth in size of the business or is it income? And for a lot of y'all, it's both.
Mhm. Oh
What does
yeah.
that look like? And
Yeah.
so you may have to actually, and I'm gonna challenge everybody to do this. All right, to sit down. If you're a speaker, I want you to increase the size of your audience. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I see myself
Yeah.
to 100 people. Oh, what happens if I see myself speaking to 1,000 people? Okay,
Mhm.
what happens if I see myself speaking to 10,000 people? All right, could I
Mhm.
speak to 100,000 people? And like,
Yeah.
right, what does that feel like being in each different level so that you can see yourself in there and start to get comfortable with that? Because
Mhm.
if you
Yeah.
can't, then you're going to get the 10,000 and you're going to have to sabotage it some type of way. And
Yeah.
sabotage
Yeah.
can look real crazy. It can look like
Yes.
you getting sick. It can look like your car breaking down. It can look like all of a sudden you can't speak. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so you have to go ahead and like visualize and see yourself there to
Yeah.
internalize it so that when it happens, you can walk in it. Like,
Mhm.
I've been here. I've been here.
Yeah.
Because if you go there in your mind, then yes, you can. Your mind don't know the difference between the imagination and history, and so
Yeah.
if you see it enough, then it will feel like, oh, I've been here before because you done
Yeah.
saw it so many times.
Yeah.
Also, do that with like your staff and your employees. Okay, can you see yourself managing 3 people, 6 people, 10
Mhm.
people, 20
Mhm.
people? What does
Mhm.
that look like? What does that set up look like? Okay.
Yeah.
Managing 3 is completely different than managing 20, which is completely different than managing 200. All right.
Yeah.
And so Arthur Blank, I don't know what the name of his book is, but he has an excellent book on like how he has had to change so many times his management style throughout the years to be able to now for Home Depot to be what Home Depot is. All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to challenge you guys to sit down and do that. What does
Yeah.
that require of you? What do you need to start learning? What do you need to start doing so you can grow into the vision that you already have for yourself? And then the
Mhm.
last one is income wise. And actually, I'm going to put a bonus one on here, income. All right.
Mhm.
What does it feel to make, if you're not making 100K yet, what does it feel like? And what does that say about me if I make 100K? And then I want y'all to take it up 100 by 100. So what does it take for me to make 200K? What does that feel like? What has to
Yeah.
change? Then at
Mhm.
300 level, what does it feel like? What has to change? Then at the
Yeah.
500 level, what does that feel like? What does it have to change? What do I think of myself? So if you're
Mhm.
one of these people who think rich people are crazy, they shouldn't be that rich, at what
Mhm.
point do you cross that line and you don't want to be one of them people?
Mhm.
So where you got to identify where that is for yourself so that you can see yourself. So Abraham Hicks um, uh, famously talked about Jerry always thought people who drove out Cadillacs were like rich and wrong and like unsensitive to the needs or everything.
Mhm.
So now when he got enough money to be able to buy a Cadillac, he couldn't do it. And
Yeah.
so there are little things you have to change about yourself, little things. Can you see
Yeah.
yourself eating a $200 steak? Just the steak part.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
what would that look like? What would that feel like?
Mhm.
What do you want? What do you want it to feel like? And
Yeah.
so, and you want to really look at those things so that when you get to that level, you're not sabotaging yourself, right?
Yeah.
If you think that anybody who makes over $200,000 is rude, and you don't want to be a rude person because you're nice, then you're
Mhm.
not going to let yourself make more than $200,000.
Yeah.
So you need to sit there. You need to sit with each of those levels and work through, how do I feel about this? How would that go? Y'all know I'm always talking about being scared of my taxes. And so at
Mhm.
each level, when I do these exercises for myself, I always have to come up with a tax plan. like that's
Mhm.
the first thing I have to
Yeah.
do. Once I have a
Yeah.
tax plan, okay, now I can grow into the next level for me.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
identify what your fears are. For many of you guys, your fears aren't going to change, you know.
Yeah.
So one of my fears is based on school. When I started doing well academically, I always kind of did well. When the school started noticing and was like, "Oh, we need to put her in the like gifted program," and they moved me out, I lost all my friends. Well, because you're in
Mhm.
school, you elementary school. Only time you can see your friends is in classroom. And we're talking
Yeah.
about way back in like the 80s. So it's not like
Yeah.
cell phones or video, like none of that. Either you saw them at school or you
Yeah.
played with them after school. And I don't think I lived around the friends that I played with. And so I didn't get to see my friends anymore. And so one of my internal things is, if you do well, you're going to lose your friends.
Mm.
And so every time I get ready to level up or think I'm about to level up, I have to sit down with myself and say, you are not going to lose your friend. It is
Yeah.
okay for you to grow. This friend
Yeah.
has been with you for the last 30 years. Y'all not
Yeah.
going anywhere. This friend picked up and remember this happened and this happened and this happened. They're not going anywhere. Okay, we know at least these 5 people ain't going nowhere. And this
Yeah.
one person is growing with you. And so
Yeah.
be able to have, like, I have to have that conversation with myself. So I really
Yeah.
want you guys to figure out what are those key conversations you have to have with yourself for each and every growth level so you can create that internal safety to get to that next level and stay. Or else you'll get
Hmm.
there, it'll feel horrible and you'll bring yourself back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that I noticed with my clients, we were talking about this need to get out of debt.
Hmm.
And so,
Hmm.
because they need to get out of debt and they only feel accomplished when they get out of debt, they have every
Yeah.
time they get out of debt, they got to get back into debt so
Got
it
to
can
get
make them
back
feel
into
good
that.
about
Yeah.
getting out of debt. And so we're like, okay, we
Yeah.
don't have to make you another plan to feel challenged and feel accomplished after the
Yeah.
debt. What's the next? And
Yeah.
so you need to look for little things like that in your life. How am I getting the validation? How and I really believe you're gonna have to sit down and like do some writing on these things because writing is
Hmm.
very cathartic. It's something about the mind kind of making those ideas plain that
Hmm.
help you do the work. And then you can
Yeah.
read it back to yourself that I am going to be safe, that my revenue can grow and my identity can handle it.
Yeah.
My identity can handle it. And
Yeah.
so many of the coaches, I was just not I was reviewing Darnielle Jervey Hartman. I don't know if you guys have heard of her or not, but she's on a whole Move to Millions, and she's been on Move to Millions for a little while. But one of the things that she was just saying is, she says, "I have a whole workshop dedicated to mindset because you can't
Hmm.
move to millions until you get your mindset right. She's like,
Yes. Yes.
you just can't." And
Yeah.
so she was like, it. And so I think she was saying it was like a 3-day workshop, and it's all about
Hmm.
mindset. And I think
Yeah.
it's so interesting that that's where she starts. But that's very
Mhm.
telling of what the work we have to do. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then
Absolutely.
jumping in on internal safety, how to create it, what you've
Hmm.
noticed, how people,
Hmm.
how do they get new beliefs and throw away the old beliefs? What do you think?
Hmm. Yeah, I know for sure that is that nervous system regulation. And just knowing, what are my blocks? Like you have to
Mhm.
identify your blocks. And believe it or not, it's typically from childhood and places that you would never imagine, right?
Mhm.
And fear. There's something that you fear. It may look like you fear being on stage, right? It may
Mhm.
seem like it's speaking in front of people, but it really is something that happened in childhood. Like you said, I don't want to lose
Mhm.
my friends.
Mhm.
So what does that say? Oh, well, I'm not gonna be smart. I'm not gonna be the best I can be. So I get removed from the people I love and the friends that I have, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So it goes back so far, those little small, maybe not small, but traumatic moments that still affect you to this day and affect your
Yeah.
nervous system,
Yeah.
and if you can just admittedly know, sometimes you might not even know what it is, right?
Mhm.
But just know that there's something there that's bigger than
Yes.
what that fear really looks like. So that's why
Mhm.
it's super important to get counseling,
Mhm.
therapy, to talk to someone.
Mhm.
I go a little deeper into the Reiki work, the somatic training. Like those are things
Yeah.
that you have to be willing to go to next. And to me, and
Yeah.
I hope I don't offend you, Natalie, but I feel like a good therapist is going to give you resources to the next level. Like you might grow out of the therapist and say, hey,
Yeah.
you know what? You need
Yep.
more than me.
Yep.
You need to go get this level of work because I can't
Yeah.
handle this level of nervous system work with you, but this will
Yeah.
help you here.
Yeah.
It's so much deeper, and
Mhm.
it's deeper than meditation, and it's deeper than prayer.
Right. Yeah.
Like we have been blessed with many different skill sets out here,
Yeah.
spiritual, medical, just we gotta know what we need, and the only way you're gonna do it is to start with talking to someone professional who knows how to guide you.
Yeah. And this is the thing. All right. If anybody has watched The Life of Pi, please go watch The Life of Pi. Because one thing is very
Micropie.
clear. He talks about how one religion got him to another religion. And
Uh-huh.
so
Yeah.
there's no one way up the mountain. And so
Right.
start with where you at with what you have to get your
Mhm.
healing, to get to the next level. And then
Yeah.
yes, you will then probably need something else. And then yes, you will
Yes.
probably need something else. But it's like you got
Yeah.
to get through one to get to two. You got to get to two to get to three. You
Yes.
got to get through
Yep.
three to get to four. And
That's
so
good.
many times it's almost kind of like an onion. You're just going down and down and down and down and down. And so and get really getting it done and changed on that deeper level. So please,
Mhm.
however you get your healing, go get your
Go
healing.
get your
Like,
healing.
because it's
Yep.
different for everybody. Some people
It
can walk out
is.
in nature and hear from God. Somebody need to be in
Uh-huh.
church with God. Somebody need to be on top
Yep.
of the mountain. Somebody can be in their bedroom. And so it's
Yeah.
really identifying and know what works for you. And then really refining that thing, whatever you come up with. I need to do this, 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 and that. When I do this,
Mhm.
and that, I'm able to boom, move to that next level. Like I've refined it. I know what it takes. I know how
Mhm.
long I need to make through it to do this, and that, and boom, I can
Mhm.
break through to my next level. All right. The
Yeah.
bonus question I wanted to ask you guys from before. All right, y'all, write this down. Okay. How good can I let it get? How
Mhm.
good can my life be? I need all of y'all to go sit down and write that question. How
Mhm.
good can I let my life be before I start to get nervous that the other shoe
Mhm.
is about to drop? Can
Yeah.
I feel good for a year? Can I feel good for 2 years? Can I feel good and make money for 10 years straight and nothing
Yeah.
negative happen and I be okay with that? At
Mhm.
what point will you start to get nervous? That's a
Mhm.
huge question.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
ask yourself that question and then look at the patterns of your life,
Mhm.
and notice, do I have a crisis every 7 years? Am I
Mhm.
broke every 10 years? Like, what is the pattern and the cycle? And so
Yeah.
then start planning on that. Like I can have my life go good for 20 years straight, 30 years straight, 40 years
Mhm.
straight. Like start to do that work and figure
Yeah.
out what that feels like in your bones, like in your
Yeah.
bones to just allow it to be good. And some
Mhm.
of us are so scared of it being good because it was good
Yeah.
before and then it all fell apart and it hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't
That
ever want
right
to be
there.
that
Yeah.
vulnerable again, right? I don't ever want
Yeah.
to be feeling like it, like I'm on top of the world because when I fall
Yeah.
down, it hurt. And so really
Yeah.
think about that. Okay.
That's good.
What else is coming up for you before I jump into the next one? Because the
Um,
next one started hitting home in a way in
okay.
which I don't think we always realize. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I just want people to really recognize that a lot of what you're dealing with when you're blocking, whether it's relationship or money and business,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of nervous system regulation. You got work to do. You have
Mm-hmm.
internal work to do,
Yep.
and it's okay. And I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that goes. Then it's like, okay, am I really who I say I am?
Mm-hmm.
If I feel this way when I want to go on stage, am I who I say I am?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how do you deal with that? So that's
Yeah.
what imposter syndrome is. Like
Mm-hmm.
always questioning yourself, am I who I say I am?
Yeah.
And I think so many people deal with that.
They do.
And so many, I don't care what level of success you are, so many
Mm-hmm.
people deal with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think the quickest. Hey, I am telling y'all to do all the work that we're telling y'all to do. And if you're right there
Yes.
on stage and you having that question, what I want you to do is drop down into service. And so don't let it be in that moment. The trick to use in that moment is I am just here to serve.
Mhm.
I'm going to do my best ability to do what these people have asked me to do,
Mhm.
whether that's
Mhm.
sweep or speak.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm just going to serve. And if you can
Yeah.
drop down into that service, that should quiet all of the can I really do it? Can I really handle it? Are they going people gonna
Yeah.
find me out? Like, nope, I'm just here
Yeah.
to serve. And so that should shift it inside of you. All right, the
Mhm.
next thing I want to talk about, you guys, is being a woman.
Mhm.
And I'm really gonna talk about being a black woman because we really do have this superwoman thing going on. When I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be the best, attentive mom that shows up at all of the things. Where I'm supposed to
Mhm.
be the best housekeeper who sweeps all of the corners, washes all of the dishes, cleans all of
Mhm.
the rooms, do all of the things. And then I'm supposed to be this high powered entrepreneur that does all of the things and runs the company.
Yeah.
You cannot. You can't. And so giving yourself permission not to be superwoman,
Mhm.
giving yourself that
Yeah.
permission. And I even think it goes deeper than just giving yourself permission. Like this is identity work. I need
Yeah. Mhm.
there's this. We almost want to have the identity of the Black Superwoman. I,
Mhm.
I want you to like burn her. Like I want you to
Yeah.
like
Right. Right. Right.
place her
Right.
on this cross and say, no, I cannot do it all. That I
Yeah.
absolutely have to have help. Like that is not my superpower. I am a queen. I like queen a lot better because when you think of a queen, you think of a queen in a castle that has a staff
Yeah.
that is making this castle run. You don't think
Yeah.
about a queen sweeping.
Yeah.
You don't.
Right.
And so as women, um, we're kind of socialized to do it all. Like that's the
Yeah.
expectation.
Mhm.
And so we left house for the workplace. And I don't think culture has really caught up with that to change.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I give you guys permission not to do it all. Like I just it's like I want to go old school. Like I rebuke that off of you in the name of
I know.
Jesus. You do not
Yes,
have to
we
do it
do.
all. I cast
Yes, we
away
do.
that spirit that you don't have to do it all. And I
Yeah.
need you to actively tell yourself, I don't have
Mhm.
to do it all. And the way I grow is to delegate.
Mhm.
Growth through
Yeah.
delegation.
Yeah.
Use Sharice's word. I'm not gonna be a one woman show. I'm gonna be the CEO.
Mhm.
Use her
Yeah.
words, read her book, do all of the
Mhm.
things because
Yeah.
I need you to fight that with everything. I
Yeah.
need you to fight that
Mhm.
with everything. I need you
Yeah.
to wake up in the morning and make sure that is not in your DNA anymore. I need you
Yeah.
to walk around. I'm not gonna do it all. I'm not gonna do it
Mhm.
all. I'm not gonna do it
Yeah.
all. I'm gonna rest when I need to rest. I'm gonna get the stuff done, but it won't be me doing
Mhm.
it. So,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel so
And
passionate about that because I
oh,
see my Black women. I'm like, baby, you got five
yeah.
kids under five. You got a full time job. You
Mhm.
trying to get a PhD,
Yeah.
married, and you trying to start a business.
Girl.
Girl, what? And
Girl, what?
you wondering why you looking like all
What? What? And then the biggest block for them, them, is guilt.
preach.
We just carry so much guilt. So whether
I'm
you're a high
supposed to.
earner, whether you're a
Mm-hmm.
stay-at-home mom, whether you're starting
Mm-hmm.
over, empty nester, divorcee, new marriage, everything is always something. And then you're carrying the guilt of, oh, now my kids, I didn't raise my kids the way they should have been raised. Oh, I don't have enough money. I'm not good enough. Oh, now I'm married and my girlfriends aren't. I'm on my second
Mm-hmm.
or third marriage, and some of my girlfriends have never
Mm-hmm.
been married. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
always some guilt to carry, right? I'm doing better than people. I'm happier than people. I'm skinnier than people. You know what I'm saying?
All the things.
Like, it's
All the things.
always some guilt,
Mm-hmm.
around ambition. So we really got to take that pressure off of ourselves. And I will say that's something that's hard to do on your own. That's why you got to have a community.
Gotta
You
have
have to have
community.
a community of people who will help you walk that walk and help you realize that, hey, babe, you're doing good. You're doing more than good. So how
Mm-hmm.
you gonna walk around feeling guilty too?
Mm-hmm. Definitely so. And oh,
I know, girl, it's a
so it's
lot.
so much. That guilt thing, I feel like that's a skill. Learning how not to feel guilty.
Yeah.
Choosing when, okay, this is a healthy guilt and this is going to help me move forward and do this and that, or repair
Mm-hmm.
this and that. And then when
Hmm.
this guilt is not serving me and I got to let it go.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and so I really think that's a skill and I really want you guys to embrace that skill
Hmm.
because as you move up in your entrepreneur journey, all of these things can work to put you in isolation.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't want you to be an entrepreneur in isolation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's
Yeah.
really when those imposter syndrome monsters are really gonna come get you when you're
Yeah.
in isolation. You know? So
Mm-hmm.
you need, and you ain't got to have the whole world, but you need two, three people that you can be like, hey, I messed up and I did this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
'cause
Mm-hmm.
just because you better than you were, don't mean you
Yeah.
great and perfect now. You're still gonna mess up. Hey, I
Yeah.
messed this up. Hey, I mishandled this with this employee. Hey, this client is upset. Hey, I
Yeah.
messed this paperwork stuff up. Hey, I forgot to renew this. I get to, and so
Mm-hmm.
you've got to fight against that entrepreneurial isolation that comes, because that's a huge part of what will
Yeah.
have that imposter syndrome like claw you down.
Yeah.
Because you'll think you're the only one who's messing up, the only one who's not performing, the only one who can't do this, the only one who can't do that. And I promise
Yeah.
you guys, if you listen to people on social media, they will act like and talk like they have been running everything perfect from day one.
Yeah. Sure
So
will.
you got to get out here and have real conversations with real people. So you are not
Mm-hmm.
stuck in this entrepreneurial isolation where you don't have any feedback, where you don't know what's going. You need somebody else to say, "Yep, I made that same mistake 2 years ago, and this is what I."
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yes.
make sure you have people around you, because that, like, it's like the silence or a
Mm-hmm.
silo is what will have imposter syndrome grow for entrepreneurs more and more and more. And so you
Mm-hmm.
cannot operate in silo.
Yeah.
And as you start growing, you got to find the people who are on your growth level
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so that they can tell you, yep, I had that same mistake, you know? And
Yeah.
so if you are the only person who has, let's say you got to the point where you got 10 employees or 10 contractors working for you and nobody
Mm-hmm.
else in your circle does, then you don't have anybody else to talk to about the issues at running the company that level. And so
Mm-hmm.
one of the things to fight against imposter syndrome is to make sure you're always kind of dealing with people who are on your level. And I'm not saying like dump all old friends. No, I'm saying expand your circle.
Yeah.
Start
Mm-hmm.
having a
For sure.
conversation in
Yeah.
this circle, and a conversation in this circle, and a
Mhm.
conversation in this circle. And
Yeah.
so like you really, you need, for you to keep growing, you need all these things that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we want for you, is for you to keep growing. And I
Mm-hmm.
need you to know that imposter syndrome just doesn't go away. Like, poof, I've arrived. It's not there anymore. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. It
It
doesn't.
does. Yeah.
And so I had a great conversation. I had a great conversation with ChatGPT this weekend. And we were talking about taking maritalpreneurs up to the next level and what does that look
Mm-hmm.
like. It really felt like a
Mm-hmm.
conversation. And Chat and I were talking about how marital couples can buckle under the weight of a seven-figure income.
Mm.
And what we needed to do, what we needed to do to help couples with that so they don't buckle. And
Yeah.
so there's this thing that, oh, if I just make more money, it'll fix it. I need you guys to get
Yeah.
all these things fixed before the more money. Money is an amplifier.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it is going to amplify all of the cracks in your infrastructure.
Yeah.
And so this today we're talking about your internal infrastructure that I want
Mm-hmm.
you to get together and get strong. There's no arrive, but there is getting stronger and handling things better and better and better and faster and faster and faster. Like
Yeah.
they're still gonna come up, but being
Yeah.
able to handle it, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
so with
Mm-hmm.
that, and so like I expect I'm just gonna say some numbers just to kind of give you like on the $100,000 level, that something may knock you off and buckle you down for 2 weeks, maybe a month.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you get to the $1 million level, I want that knocking you over no more than a day. We
Yeah.
got to
For
get it moving.
sure.
Like,
For
because I
sure.
want you to learn what I got to do. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? What do I like? Like, I want you to know what you need to physically do to get yourself to the next level. I know I got
Yeah.
to fight this demon, this demon, this demon. I got to go back and have a conversation with this demon or
Yeah.
my little girl
Yeah.
self.
Yeah.
So however you want to talk about it. Some days I feel like I'm fighting spirit demons. Some days I just got to talk to me, my little girl self. Okay, little
Yep.
girl, come on. You're not gonna lose your
Yes.
friends. You're gonna be okay. You're not gonna work in isolation this time. You got
Yeah.
because there's definitely a point in entrepreneurship where you feel isolated, where you're just kind of
Yeah.
working and
Yeah.
grinding and banging it out.
Yeah.
And so, like I remember that. Even as I say it right now, I remember
Mhm.
like being in my
Mhm.
office from
Yeah.
like 10 to 12. And I think also getting into my undergrad program where I just had to write that huge paper. Like
Mhm.
there are time periods where you're just gonna be isolated. And
Yeah.
so I have to tell myself now, okay, but now we know how to guard against that and we know how to
Yes.
balance it and everything. Because a part of me is just like, I don't want to be alone again. And
Right.
so all of these things you have to identify with yourself and then like
Mhm.
work with yourself so they aren't
Yeah.
holding you back, so you aren't sabotaging yourself. So if
Yeah.
I'm
For
scared
sure.
of working in isolation again, then I'm gonna
Mhm.
procrastinate on getting the work done, getting the
Yeah.
project done. Because the little girl in me doesn't want to go be by herself where,
Yeah.
and so figuring out how does that look. So for
Yeah.
me, that looks like calling my friends and say, okay, I got a project I need to bang out. I need us to do a work day together.
Yeah.
And so we get together in somebody's living room, clubhouse, or what. Everybody has a table, and we just work. And
Yeah.
so it doesn't
Mhm.
feel like I'm working alone anymore. So
Exactly.
identifying those things for you, because everybody has their things,
Yeah.
everybody has their
Yeah.
things. All right, bringing it down, bringing it home. What do you want the people to take away for today?
Today is just, recognize, what you have to deal with, how it affects you, and how to deal with it. We
Mm,
all have anxieties. We all
mhm,
have things that are going to show up in these ebbs and flows. It's how you deal with it is the most
mhm.
important thing, and regulating yourself, regulating your emotions,
Yep.
your nervous system is the most important thing. So you can deal and grow, because you got to keep it moving regardless. You
Mhm,
made this decision.
mhm,
You made this
mhm,
grandiose decision to be this
mhm,
leader and this influencer and
mhm,
these big things to people
mhm.
and to change the world. And then these blocks come up.
Yeah.
And then when those blocks come up and you find yourself, taken aback or whatever, and then it beats you up, you got to be in a position where you can flow,
Mhm,
flow with the ebb
mhm,
and flow.
mhm. So I think I want my takeaway thought for you guys to be today is grow with intention.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Grow with
mm-hmm.
intention. And I think everybody was, of course, I intend to grow. Of course, I'm doing it intentionally. But don't forget about the internal work. You got to intentionally do the internal work too. So it
Mm-hmm,
can't just
mm-hmm.
be like, I'm launching. It needs to be,
Yeah.
I'm going to launch. So what are the things that I have to do? Like, let me sit down and get
Mm-hmm.
intentional about who do I have to be? What do
Yeah.
I need to talk about so that I can launch to that next level?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And maintain, you got to
And
be able to maintain
maintain
it once you create it.
that part. That part
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I think that might even be the bigger question. Like, what would it take for me to maintain? Who do I have to be to maintain?
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
good one. That's a good one. That's the better question. Okay, I'm taking that. I'm taking that as my final thought. Your final
Yeah.
question needs to be, what do I need to do to maintain on that next level?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, and then grow from
That's
there.
good.
All right,
That's
fabulous
good.
people. That's us today. If you like us on
Yay.
the podcast, do all the things you know you're supposed to do. So, like us, make a comment, subscribe, share
Mm-hmm.
us with a friend, coworker, colleague. We are here to support you guys. This is the fabulous Sharice B. I am Natalie E. or Natalie Elliott, and we're here to support you guys. So, reach out to Sharice on Facebook. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. We're here to support you in however you need. So, all right, everybody, have a great day.
Have a
All
good
right,
one.
Sharice and Q, I need you guys to stay on.
Okay.
And hold on, hold on. I'm trying to stop the live stream. There we go.
Got it?
The live stream
Okay.
has stopped. And
Audio Jungle.